I came to the realization yesterday after surfing the web that Star Wars are now taking a page out of Marvel's book. Coincidentally, Star Wars do own Marvel, right? So they're taking a page out of their book here. As we know in the whole Avengers series, we had certain movies. For example, in the Iron Man movie, we have certain other Avengers making a cameo appearance at the end, and that kind of nicely linked into the rest of the Marvel franchise. A new
Yeah,
character would make an appearance at the end of a movie, and then from that appearance, he would get his own movie. Likewise,
yeah,
Star Wars are trying to do the same here. So the latest news is this: that you're obviously more well versed on Mandalorian than I am. However, I did come to the realization that in season 2 Mandalorian, they're planning to make an appearance of Ashoka and Sabine. Now, I don't want to ruin Rebels for you, so you can put this on mute while I say this, okay? What they're planning to do is that they're planning to show Ashoka and Sabine looking for Ezra. They're looking for Ezra at this point, and they make an appearance in Mandalorian. From this appearance, Ashoka and Sabine from Rebels, they will get a spin-off show. So it could be Ashoka's having her own series, and then there'll be a Rebels sequel series through Sabine.
yeah. I think another season of Rebels has been talked about a bit recently. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be really good to have. I would definitely not like to see it in live. They won't do it live action. They will do it animated. What are your thoughts on Ashoka? Do you think Ashoka should have an animated series or a live action?
I think it would be interesting to see her in live action, and in The Mandalorian as well. I think it'd be good. I think she's a popular character. Fans would like to see more of her, and bringing her into live action really kind of, I don't know, kind of cement her place in like the Star Wars universe. Um, because we've seen her in obviously Clone Wars and Rebels and things, but I think it would be good. I think it would be very good. Although I've seen some people saying that what they don't want to see with the next season of The Mandalorian is like you don't want to see too many characters brought into it just for the sake of it. It's like
Hmm.
no characters. So like in the recent films, like
Yeah.
maybe there's some characters who are kind of in it just for the sake of being in it and
Hmm.
don't make a huge contribution or whatever.
Okay.
Um, so you could maybe argue the same for Mandalorian, but I think it'd be pretty cool still.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. But on the contrary, I would say this. On the contrary, I would say that I think it is vital in Mandalorian season 2 that they introduce these characters not for the sake of it, but like we say, they need to introduce these characters so we can because they need to start introducing Star Wars as a universe, right? So
Yeah,
by showing us Ashoka and by showing us Sabine from Rebels, from their appearance won't be like in the movies. As you say, there was a lot like, for example, Lando. There was a lot of people in the movies
yeah,
who were in it for the sake of it. But I think Mandalorian will be different because these guys' appearance, like Ashoka and Sabine's appearance, will be for a reason. It will be their appearance will be there to set up their eventual show, which will be like so Sabine will make an appearance, which will set up her Rebel spin-off series. Ashoka will make an appearance, which will set up her live animated series. So I think it's vital that we do see these guys, so we can be introduced to their story.
yeah. I agree. Have you seen the other character who's rumored to appear in the next season of Mandalorian?
I have not. Can you please enlighten me?
I believe Boba Fett.
Ah, okay, okay.
Which is that's the one that's strange for me because he's dead. So,
I would have to disagree with you on that. I would have to disagree with you on that.
wow, he went into a big pit in the desert, didn't he? He
Indeed.
must be dead.
Well, this again shows how my knowledge is. There was actually a comic released. I will be honest, I'm not sure if it is canon or Legends, but there was a comic released by Star Wars and the Lucasfilms a number of years ago, and it showed how he managed to escape while he was in the Sarlacc's pit in Tatooine. He managed to escape, and he managed to eventually, free himself from the fetters and the shackles of that wild beast. Uh,
Mm,
I do think, actually, to the contrary, I did hear that they were trying to have a Boba Fett series, and I think that would be much better to have and as instead of Mandalorian. I would have much preferred to see a Boba Fett series.
You know, it's it's Boba.
Don't correct me. Boba, sorry. My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that would be
What's
cool.
your sources for that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a bit confusing if you need to explain why if he's in the next series, then you need to explain why he's alive. Or I think there were some rumors that you could be a clone, but I don't know. That's strange. Um,
Um, and
I
I
think
know.
it,
Sorry, go on.
I know. I think it could be good. But I just think it would be so strange to bring him back to life because it's like something from I don't know, like a Lego Star Wars, like the short films and things like that. I think it'd be something like that. It'd be so strange if he managed to escape that death, but maybe.
I think he's too much of a polarizing and pivotal character to have such a short dismissal. I
Yeah,
think,
he is a popular character.
yeah, 100%. And I think he was not done justice in the movies in that original trilogy. And
Mm,
I think there's still more to discover about his story. So I wouldn't like to see another Boba Fett series because, quite frankly, I've had enough of this Mandalorian, series. I think it would be good if we see a Boba Fett, sorry, if we see a Boba Fett appearance in the Mandalorian. But saying
yeah,
that, they may show his appearance in order to facilitate his own TV show.
could
Because
be.
that's the direction they're going in. Whoever's going
Yeah,
to show up in Mandalorian season 2 is going to get their own TV show.
I
You know,
like that. I think it's okay. Yeah,
yeah, it's good and it's really intelligent and it's taking a page out of Marvel's book. This is how
yeah,
Marvel managed to appeal to the casuals.
yeah,
To some old woman who doesn't, who don't even care about comic books. They would go and watch the movies.
yeah.
That's something Star Wars needs to start replicating now. And another thing they were talking, I want to get your opinion on this. Is this isn't start? I think this is just rumors at this point, but it's starting to come into fruition in terms of the fact people are saying that this could come true. A Darth Vader live action with Hayden Christensen playing Darth Vader. What would you say about that?
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What are your
I
thoughts?
think I thought that there was a rumor that he could feature in the Kenobi series, like
Indeed.
that actor.
Mm-hmm.
Having his own spin-off series would be, I don't know. I think there's some comics about kind of what he gets up to between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. And that's really the period that it would be, wouldn't it? To
Yes.
have a period about, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I mean, if there's a story to tell, but I'm not sure if there is. I don't know. I think there'd be too much. Maybe it's similar to the Kenobi in a way where you kind of think, well, what really is there to say, especially Obi-Wan Kenobi? I mean, he's just kind of sitting on Tatooine. But I
I
still think that would be cool because I like the character. But I don't know. Maybe he'll just appear in the Kenobi series in some way or another. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think I would say that that period between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope and if you were to compare the life of Darth Vader to Obi-Wan, I would say that they lived a life that was completely the antithesis of each other, a completely
Yeah,
antithetical life. So as you say, I would agree with you in one point, and I would disagree with you in another point. I would agree with you in the point where you say that I don't really know what they would show about Obi-Wan, because as you say, he literally just lived in Tatooine, kept an eye on Luke. Maybe I did read the book, the novel, 3-4 years ago, of his life in Tatooine. I read a bit of
well,
it, and it was quite boring. He got into some feuds with Tusken Raiders and the local kind of
yeah,
Tatooine gangsters. It's not very. There's not much you can elaborate on. Whereas Darth Vader, who had a crazy life between episode 3 and episode 4. I mean, first of all, where do you think he got his name, the Jedi Killer? He didn't get it from, those 3 movies. He got it from his life in between episode 3 and episode 4. He hunted
yeah. That's
down
true.
all of the Jedi survivors from Order 66. Palpatine used to doubt whether Darth Vader still had it in him or not, if he was still as ferocious, Sith as he wanted him to be. So he would send him assassins all the time to try and kill him, and Darth Vader
Oh,
would fend them all off. So I do think there's a lot to show. Archie, just give me 1 second. Sorry. As I was saying, I would like to see the Darth Vader live series. I think he lived a very eventful life in between episode 3 and episode 4. There's a lot of things he did. He hunted down the remaining Jedis. He had to fend off a lot of assassins that Darth Sidious put against him. He lived a very eventful
yeah,
life, and as you've seen in Rebels, he had to deal with some rebel threats as well. So yeah, I think I would like to see that a live
yeah.
action.
He's such a big character as well, but it would definitely attract attention.
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah,
another interesting topic I encountered was, I think it'll be quite relevant because the Bad Batch. You know the Bad Batch in season 7. A lot of people
yeah,
are wondering what happened to them. I mean, they're two. I mean,
yeah. I
come
saw
on, like
that.
they were so cool. You can't just not tell us what happened to them. We need to know at least something that happened to them. Like, did they execute Order 66, or did they remove their inhibitor chips? We know that Echo removed his.
Yeah, and in the Rebels as well, Commander
And
Wolf
Gregor as
did,
well,
I
yeah.
think. Yeah,
What do you think? What do you think Disney can do to explain the Bad Batch? What happened to them after? What do you think?
I don't think they're gonna explain it. I don't think there's. I don't think that. I'm not sure what they could make, like what they could produce to. I mean, I don't know. Maybe just a little like official statement or something, if that's what it has to be, because I don't think there's enough in it to do a series or
Mhm.
anything.
Perhaps a
Um,
cameo, perhaps an appearance in a
could be maybe what in like another series of
yeah,
Rebels,
new
something like
series
that.
of Rebels. That would be very interesting to see.